Hey, it's Brian from quantlabs.net. Today I wanted to do a quick overview of this book that you can find on Amazon, High Frequency Trading, Practical Guide to Algorithmic Strategies and Trading Systems, from Irene Aldridge. One of the things this book does talk about is obviously algorithmic strategies and the trading systems. As for myself, coming into this, getting into strategy development, this was a really decent book to get into. One of the things that I'd like to highlight here is the reviews, which you would think are not too good. What I'm seeing here in the negative reviews is that these are probably more experienced people reading this book. I'm not even sure if the book is really designed for those type of people, so they'll start hating on it and whatnot. So I'm not sure if the book is really geared towards more advanced people or practitioners, as I call them. But if you're a newbie, this is a good book. As you can see here, a good intro, but don't stop here, which is very true. So let's start talking about what's inside the book. Essentially, what this book does contain is all these facts here. There are some really good facts that I wanted to highlight. Good takeaways. One is we've always heard about multi-second frequency with tick data. From what this book shows is that in a variety of tables on your different frequency time slices, obviously the best ones are in the multi-second frequency level. That's where you'll hit most of your profits. The thing is that basically what I took away from is that's what you need to focus on, not the 1 minute or the 5 minute charts. That's all in the multi-second. I can confirm that throughout the different LinkedIn group chatter that everyone does focus on the multi-second. So obviously latency is a big issue, and where you need to get a high performance set of servers as well as software, which comes back down to what operating system and what language the platform's developed in. So there's that. Also, another big takeaway is some of the presentations that I've been part of for inefficient versus efficient markets. People say that the efficient markets are killing HFT, and there's a lot of truth to that. There's a good discussion about how inefficient markets are the better way to go in order to find market opportunities. There's a good discussion with this book, it's something that it just kind of galvanizes everything that I read and have understood for the last few years. Also, the algorithms itself presented in the book are quite good. They are, I won't say advanced, but you still need to have a fairly decent understanding of the algebra and calculus to really understand these algorithms that are presented in the book. They're all the more popular ones. There's some ones that I haven't seen before that are talked about as well, but for me, in terms of strategy development from the ones presented in this book, I'll definitely stick with the ones that I know and that are really kind of more in the mainstream. So that book is really good for that sort of thing. And there's a decent discussion about your high frequency trading systems, all the different components, languages, needing risk management software, and just gives a really good overview of a whole entire operation of a high frequency trading environment, and even goes into levels of discussions about if you had trying to operate a business with a total overhead cost of $600,000, you need to be making some crazy amounts of profit with a leverage of around 50 to get anywhere and get to a break-even point with that type of cost structure for a HFT business. So there's some really good discussion overall in the book. It's similar to the algorithmic based trading book by Barry Johnson, which is this one right here. I've already done a review. This one's really good. But back to Irene Aldrich's book. I would, between these two books of Barry Johnson right here and Irene Aldrich, between these two books, if you are going into the HFT environment and building up some kind of business, obviously these books combined are game changers. They do have a little bit of overlap, but basically both books are very good in explaining the details of running all the different types of strategies you need, how to implement them, and so on and so forth. So, all in all, I do quite enjoy the books, both of them. This one was good for its own reasons. So I would recommend anybody venturing in this area of learning about HFT or even starting up some kind of business revolving around HFT. These books are a good starter point, especially if you're coming from a newbie standpoint as well. As I said, I guess some of the criticisms on the more advanced practitioners on sharding it might be some legitimacy there, but again, coming from a newbie's point of view, this might be a good book to go with, as well as the Barry Johnson one on the algorithmic trading and DMA, which I did a review earlier a while back on. Okay, so hopefully I'll help you out, and I've got one or two more books to look at, and I'll do a quick synopsis on those really soon.